Ho, ho, ho! Hello there, it's Talia from Motherhood, The Real Deal. Sorry, I can't believe I just said hello there in that stupid voice. But as you can tell from what I'm wearing today and this little furry dude, today's video is all about Christmas and Christmas stress. Because although Christmas is the most magical time of the year, for us mums, it can also be the most stressful time of the year because it adds a whole load of life admin onto our already busy shoulders. So, seeing as we're about to get in the thick of Christmas, I wanted to share today my tips on how to stress a little bit less in the run-up to Christmas. So, first up, should we keep this guy here? Shall we? Or should we get rid of him? I might keep him here. So first up, I want to say, and this is really obvious, but organisation really is the key. So lists. You need to be writing lists. If I don't write lists, I feel like my brain is literally going to explode with all the Christmassy things I need to do. It's all the extra Christmas dates at school. It's all the extra Christmas drinks. It's all the gifts you need to buy. It's all the admin you need to do. It's all the other stuff that you need to buy. The lists are never ending. So therefore, if you don't write it down, all of that stress just goes round and round in your own head. So have a list, have a checklist, and literally be working through that. If you don't actually like writing lists, then I really love the app Trello, which is also a great way of just having tasks and working through them and seeing when you've completed them as well. So I really love that. That is a top tip, Trello. Check that out. I would also say that Christmas is a time when we put so much pressure on ourselves as mums. You know, all these extra commitments, and one thing that I'm trying to do more of this year is follow the mantra, less is more, because at Christmas time it feels like we should be doing all of these extra things, doesn't it? You know, we've got to go and see all of these people, we've got to go to all of these events, we've got to get all these gifts, but the question is, do we actually need to do all these things? Do we actually need to write 200 Christmas cards to people who you actually never speak to most of the year, or actually do we not? So I think it is about evaluating what you're doing and seeing what of those things you could either scrap totally or just do a lot less of, and that will really help to ease those stress levels, in my opinion anyway. Moving on from that, one of the key things I think which is helping me to stay sane in the run-up to Christmas is ditching the perfection. It's so hard, isn't it? Because in the run-up to Christmas, we watch all of these adverts and everything's amazing, and look, oh, the food's amazing, the gifts amazing, and the table place setting's amazing, and it's all just this fairy tale world. Well, guess what? We don't live in an advert, we live in the real world. So if you want to stay sane as a mama in the run up to Christmas, then we all need to ditch the perfection, because perfection just doesn't exist. It's just like a fancy trailer for the rest of life. So I would say to lower your stress in the run up to Christmas, then just lower your expectations a little bit. It's okay if everything is not perfect. It's okay if it's just good enough. That's absolutely fine. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah. Right, next I would like to say that you don't need to do it all yourself. As mums, sometimes we just feel like, oh, we've got to do this all ourselves. We can do this all ourselves. And sometimes it's almost like we're trying to prove a point. But in the run-up to Christmas, and definitely on Christmas Day itself, there is one word that you need to know, and that is delegation. Just delegate. You know, whether it's other people going to buy the Christmas gifts, or it is asking your family members to help wrap the presents, or it is getting them to write the Christmas cards, if you want to do that, or on the actual day, Christmas Day itself, get everyone involved in getting everything ready, especially with the cooking. Even delegate some of the dishes. Just delegate. It doesn't all have to be on your shoulders, and it will really help to reduce the stress. Finally, actually it's not quite finally, it's the second to last point, I would like to talk about self-care, because, you know, we always talk about kindness in the run-up to Christmas and how we need to be kind to others, but as mums, we are often the ones that are running around doing everything, trying to get everything sorted for Christmas. But what about being kind to ourselves, and what about a little bit of self-care to ourselves? So in the madness, just make sure you're taking some time to breathe. Take some time to breathe, take some time out. It doesn't all have to be about you running around doing everything for everyone else. You need some self-love, mama. And as part of that, even though it might be really easy, or too easy, to fuel yourself with caffeine and alcohol in the run up to Christmas and maybe on Christmas Day itself, sometimes that can be a little bit evil, can't it? So maybe just instead of like freaking out and having that however many glass of wine, and a few's fine, but I think a lot of us can get to Christmas Day and just feel really frazzled because we've just been running on alcohol, wine, alcohol, caffeine, all this kind of stuff, and we just get a bit kind of. So as part of self-care, I guess it's just being a little bit mindful of how we're treating ourselves over the festive period. Do we really need that extra glass of wine? Well, maybe you do. Do you really need to have 4 cups of coffee to keep yourself going? Possibly, but it may make you feel a bit afterwards. So finally, my last tip for minimizing stress in the run up to the big C day is just to look at the bigger picture, really. I think we can get so caught up in all those small little details, all the things we have to do, that sometimes we can just forget what the bigger picture is all about. And without sounding too cheesy, it is just about spending time with loved ones and friends and family, isn't it? So maybe if you can, just try and hone into that whenever everything's getting a little bit overwhelming, and hopefully that will bring you right back to what Christmas is all about, and it is about the magic and not about the overwhelm. So I hope you found those tips useful. I hope you all have an amazing Christmas, whatever you are doing, wherever you're going to be celebrating it, and just don't forget to breathe in the run up to Christmas, because you're going to need it. And I hope you all just have a fantastic end to the year. All right, thanks everyone for watching, and please do hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this, hit subscribe for more, and I will see you again soon. Bye.